It was a popular and award-winning series. Now, more than a decade since Glee launched, we're getting a new look at the drama behind the scenes. Pop sensation Gia Woods joins me to talk about her new music and her connection to the fight for women's rights in Iran. And NFL player Carl Nassib reflects on coming out. That's all ahead on Advocate Today. Hi, welcome to Advocate Today. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and thank you for joining me. We begin with a new docuseries focused on the long-running series Glee. The groundbreaking show's legacy around queer visibility has been overshadowed by a lot of what went on behind the scenes. Discovery Plus will be producing a three-part docuseries featuring cast and crew members. The new docuseries will cover Corey Monteith's death, Mark Solling's arrest, and Naya Rivera's death, which occurred after the series ended. The bullying allegations leveled against Leah Michelle will also be addressed. Glee launched in 2009 and ran for more than 100 episodes. The show won 4 Emmys and 4 Golden Globe Awards. A rising star is using her platform to share love and positivity through music. Persian pop sensation Gia Woods has a brand new single out now called PCH and a new EP debuting soon called Heartbreak County Volume 2. The new project reflects Gia fully embracing her sexuality while offering fans some great electro pop. I spoke to Gia about how her music tells her truth, the ongoing situation in Iran, and more. First, I just want to start by asking you, what was the inspiration for the EP? Is there sort of a thematic central line going through it?
Yeah. As you can see, it says volume 2. So it's the second volume of a volume 1
Yeah.
that I originally started, which was called Heartbreak County Volume 1. And that whole concept, Heartbreak County, started from the fact that I was born and raised in Los Angeles. And Heartbreak County essentially means LA to me. And I kind of wrote it based off of growing up in Los Angeles, being born here, and watching people from all over the world move here to chase their dreams. And a lot of the time, I think people who come to LA have this illusion that their life is going to be a type of way, or like they were going to quote unquote make it. And so I feel like I've been on the other end watching so many people move here and not make it. So that was kind of like the storyline of it all, was just like kind of looking at LA from a perspective of someone that was born and raised here. So a lot of the music was kind of based around that, and a lot of the production was also dance inspired, because I grew up listening to a lot of dance music, like Madonna and Daft Punk and Gustavo Stein and all those different artists. And so I also felt like dance music, to me, it feels like escapism in a way.
You have a new single, PCH, which anyone who lives here knows it's Pacific Coast Highway. And I wonder if you would talk a little bit about that song.
Yeah, so the song was kind of inspired by the perspective of my ex that was experiencing a version of me that wasn't truly who I was, but I was going through so much heartbreak from a family member passing away, and also just getting out of something previously that was like a toxic relationship for me. This person was experiencing a very cold version of me, and I knew it in the moment, but I couldn't almost like undo it. It was like a weird, I was on autopilot. And this person was so convinced that they could get me out of it by just showing me love and patience and all that stuff. And I kind of wrote it on their perspective of like being so in love and infatuated with someone like me, who's not even giving an ounce of, love or just common like courtesy of just being, with someone and intimate with someone. So that was interesting. And also a lot of the my relationship was basically birthed in Malibu. Like I spent a lot of my time there. And so that's also why I was like, I wanted to be called PCH.
You came out in 2015 in your song Only a Girl, publicly.
Yes.
And I wonder if you would talk a little bit about kind of walking in your truth and what it means to you that Others may see you as a Persian American lesbian, and that may make them feel less alone.
For me, having that song out was such a release because I was closeted growing up my entire life, and it was my coming out, not only to my family and friends but the whole world. So that was a really big moment for me, and I feel like that's kind of when I started to really own like who I was and be comfortable with who I was. And um I I've been fortunate enough to kind of be brought into an audience that also relates to that. And that's all I ever hope to do is like, find people who are feeling the same way and knowing like that they're not alone. And then that was my whole point in releasing it, was like I want to be honest and raw and myself from the beginning. And this is a very scary thing to do at a time where not much representation was happening as now. So that was a really big pivotal point for me, and I'm still advocating for who I am and my sexuality, and hoping that anyone who discovers me can just relate and know that they're not alone.
Great. I love that. Thank you.
Mm.
Also, you had a song earlier this year called Lesbianic.
Yes.
Which is really fun, but it's also very, sexual. There's a lot of lesbian desire. And so often lesbians are painted as either what straight people think of in porn, or that we sit alone at home with our cats. So to show this very positive sexual desire, I think or agency is really kind of new. And I wonder if you would comment on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've heard a lot of songs that are kind of like desiring woman from like a straight point of view. So it was kind of nice for me to kind of just like re-own that from a lesbian's like perspective, and write a song that's just embracing woman all over the world. And that was my purpose with it, is like, if straight males are going to be doing that, how about a lesbian doing it? I think, and that comes from a place of just love.
As a Persian American, I wonder, and as a strong woman, I wonder if you might comment on what's the kind of protests that are happening in Iran right now.
Yeah, I mean,
their power.
I'm so happy that finally there is a movement happening beyond just Iran. It's happening all over the world, and it's so refreshing to finally see us speak up. Because when I was a little girl, I remember going to Iran. I was about like 7 or 8, and I still remember I didn't have to wear we call it a rusadi in Farsi, but it's called the hijab, I guess. I didn't even know that until this movement, because I always called it the Persian term. But I didn't have to wear it because I was at an age limit where, like, I guess once you pass that mark, I don't know if it's 10 or which exact age it is, but once you get to that age, then you start having to cover your hair. And I remember going when I was younger and just kind of looking around and being like, why is everyone covering their hair? Like, asking my mom, I was like, why do we have to cover ourselves? And she was like, that's the law. Like, if you don't, you would go to jail. And you also actually, they kill gay people here. Like, they behead gay people. So it's such an insane situation. And I've been, feeling so sad and hurt for the women in Iran who've been going through this horrible regime.
Thank you to Gia for joining me. Her single PCH is out now, and Heartbreak County Volume 2 drops later this month. For my full interview with Gia, head to advocatechannel.com. Last up today, another star is looking back on their coming out experience, but on a different stage.
What's up, people? I'm Nassib. I'm at my house here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Just want to take a quick moment to say that I'm gay. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, but I finally feel comfortable enough to get it off my chest. I really have the best life. I got the best family, friends, and job a guy could ask for.
It was more than a year ago when Nassib posted that video to Instagram. Now, the football player is speaking to Men's Health about his decision to come out. Nassib says when he initially came out, he was worried that people would only remember him for being gay. He also told the magazine that he felt really lucky to be the first out player in a game and then win. Thank you so much to Carl for speaking his truth. That's all the time we have for This Advocate today. The Advocate channel is streaming now on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Android TV. You can also download our app on your Android or Apple devices. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and I'll see you next time.